Hey guys, it's Lynn. Thanks for clicking on my video. Today's video is part of What Would You Make, a collaboration hosted by Rustic and Lace DIY, America Creations, and Divine Designs. You can find their links in my description box. And to connect with me, find me on Facebook and Instagram. And with all that being said, let's fidget. For this one, I've got this shadow box that has this piece of plexiglass in the front. I'm removing that. And I wanted the frame to have more of a glossy look to it, so I painted just that with apple barrel multi-surface black. And now I'm taking the scrapbook paper and I'm hot gluing just the corners to the shadow box, just in case I want to use this for something else later. And I did a graphic on my Cricut, and here I'm just weeding that out, and I'm going to put the transfer paper on there. That helps me to put it on a little straighter. And here I closed the box and put the plexiglass in it so I could kind of center that graphic. And I'm still practicing with the Cricut, so I'll show you some of what I do getting it on there. But these things, man, it really gives me a run for my money. And here I'm just making sure all of that's tacked down well. And I'm going to put that back in there. Reapply all of the pieces of hardware to hold that thing in there. Those screws were so tiny. I lost one on my floor and it was impossible to find. I did though. So now I'm going to come in with a string of fairy lights. Now these are the fairy lights from the Dollar Tree, so they have that big battery pack. I just put that around the outside edges of the inside of the box. I hope that made sense. Now I'm just taking some Walmart twine and going around the inside of that just to hide all of the stuff I just put in there. And I hot glued the battery pack to the back. And I'm applying these sawtooth hangers. These are the screw-in kind. And I'm just measuring to make sure I get that centered. And here it is. I just love how this turned out. And the greens and the yellows go with my coastal theme bathroom so well. You're going to have to let me know what you guys think of this one. I don't know if I show it lit up, but you get the idea. For this one, I'm using these Kiva blocks and this quick hold. Look, I'm looking at the directions and it says to wait 2 minutes, but I'm not good at directions, so we're just going to put it together. It held fine, guys. I did 2 sets of 2 and 2 sets of 3. Now, these Kiva blocks are, I found them at the thrift store. They're pretty expensive if you order them, but they're very nice and very straight. And here I'm just sizing out a piece of cardboard the same size as my frame. I'm going to put masking tape on the edges because I'm going to paint that in burnt sienna. And I paint the whole background. And I've got this boxwood sheet that I'm going to size up to the width of my frame. And I'm just going to snip that down the edge to the size that I need. Oh, yep, and I cut off that little piece. And here I am, hot gluing the frame to the cardboard. There we go. And then I got some hazelnut and mixed water in it and made a stain for those pieces of Kiva blocks around the edge for the frame. And I just wiped that, painted it on, wiped it off. I ran some Walmart jute twine around the edge just to kind of make it look a little more finished. Now I've got the boxwood sheets that I cut up, and I'm sizing a couple of pieces of wire. The plan is to go around the plastic pieces and down into these holes I make with my little pokey tool. So I'm poking little holes, and then I take my wire, and to the best of my ability, put it through the back and twist that as tight as I can and cut off the excess. And then I bent the tips down the points down so it didn't hurt nobody. And here I am just adding a bunch of florals. Just haphazardly, all kinds of greenery. I got the little tiny blue flowers, a couple of succulents. And this is called a living wall. And I have been wanting one of these for so long. I think it's so beautiful. And it brings the greenery into my house without worrying about some toxic plants for my animals. Y'all let me know what you think of this one. I love it. Moving on to the next one, I've got these tongue depressor sticks, and I am putting those into 2 diamond shape patterns with some hot glue, going in the same directions as each other. And then I'm going to come through with these crazy looking beads. I got those at the thrift store. After I reinforce those 2 diamond shapes with some more hot glue, I put these beads in each of the corners and in the middle of this thing. It's one of those old school hangers that, like, accordion hangers. That's what it's called. It's going to look like that. And I've got this twine ribbon that I salvaged, and it had a piece of thread running through the center, so I just removed that. And I've got these 2 frames that came from, I pulled the canvases off of those and painted them white like a month ago. So I used the burlap under both of those. And now I'm taking this sign I got at Dollar Tree in Savannah, Georgia, and I took the fish off. Now I'm going to paint the little knobbies with Admiral Blue by Apple Barrel. And I'm using Pool by Waverly, but I changed that. I make it darker. The 2 fish I painted in Waverly Snow White, same as the frames. And I didn't show it, but I distress all of this in the end with some Dolphin Gray by Apple Barrel. I did the frames in that pool color. I hot glued the edges and ran some of the brown twine rope from Dollar Tree around the edges of both frames. Now I'm applying the burlap with the finger protector. And I do that all around the edges, and I use those tongue depressor sticks to just reinforce that so it doesn't come apart on me. Now I'm applying these 2 little fishies, and you can see the distressing I was talking about. That's, like I said, that's gray. And then the 2 fishes, the mama and baby fish, are going to go on the burlap in the middle of those 2 frames. Now I'm going to attach those 2 frames just along the middle, the sides. I'm going to turn that over, and I reinforce that with some more of the tongue depressor sticks so that they don't flop, fall apart, just making it sturdy. And after that, I'm going to come in with, I did my hanger first. And now I've got some quick hold glue, and some hot glue, and I'm just putting it on the 2 points that are going to meet the frames. And stick those on there and clamp those down. Oh, I didn't show the clamps, but I did clamp it down. And here it is. This is in my bathroom to hold, like, my necklaces and things like that, for me to jump in the shower and not mess my jewelry up. And it's super cute. And it's coastal, like my bathroom. Here's another one that I'm going to use in my bathroom. I know, my bathroom's walls are, like, just covered. I'll have to show y'all a tour of that eventually. So I'm cutting this wall decal from Dollar Tree. I just wanted the blessed part. Now I've got a candle, and I'm going around the edges of this piece of wood that I painted black like a month ago. And now I've got the Cloudless by Apple Barrel, the super watery stuff that I have, and I went over that plank. Then I scraped away some of the wax, giving it that distressed look. Now I'm going to very carefully and straight, put down my decal. And here I've got golf tees, and I kind of have the video going a little slower so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just sizing them how I like them on the top. And I'm going to do the 2 sides and then the middle and make sure everything is the same distance apart from each other. And those are some dog toenail clippers that I'm using just to cut the points off of those golf tees. And I'm using some more of those strange looking wooden beads that I used in the last one. And I'm just coming up with a pattern that goes across the top that I like. And I'm going to apply that to the sign with some hot glue, wood glue. Wait, wood glue, hot glue. Y'all know what I mean. You can get it. I got mine from Amazon. It's specific wood glue that helps to adhere wood pieces better to each other than normal hot glue. So, with all that being said, now I'm coming through and making sure it's attached all the way. It's setting up. It's straight. And now I am going to paint it. I had 3 different gold colors and I settled with old golds from Artist's Loft. It comes in like a tube, not like, standard paper. Anyways, y'all get it. Here I am putting on my hangers. These are 2 little hanger pieces that you would find on the back of frames typically. So I screwed those into the back. And now I've got these hooks that I want to put on here. I'm actually going to use this for small hand towels and things like that. But I just measured to make sure I'm putting my hooks in about the same spot as the hangers. And I left those white. I didn't want to paint them because they had like a rubbery covering to those. And I just didn't want to fool with it. So I put those in there like that. And now, as you can see, there's gold and white hooks and that big black speck right there that was bugging my OCD so bad. But I put the little white heart thing in the corner to tie in the white hooks. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. So here it is. I really like how this one turned out, and I love that technique to make it look distressed with the wax. Let me know what y'all think. For this last one, I have 4 pieces of wood that I bought at Dollar Tree a while back, and I had another project on it, but I didn't want that, so I'm sanding it down, and I'm painting all of those with Lavender by Waverly. And I've got these octagonal shaped beads. I'm going to paint just the sides of those white. The ends are going to be adhered to the wood. So now I've got this Dollar Tree wallpaper peel and stick. And I cut those into the right size strips to apply to these pieces of wood. I sanded the edges. And I came in and distressed all of those on the edges and in the middle as well. And if it got too loud, I just wiped that off. Then I've got this wooden word. I bought it painted black already, so I left it like that and just distressed it with that same purple, the lavender, not purple, the lavender color. And now I've got those beads, and you'll see the parts that I didn't paint. I'm just going to stick those to these pieces of wood. And I'm using that hot glue, wood glue stuff, because I want this to stay together pretty well. And I'm using my ruler to make sure that I'm putting these on as straight as possible. And then I applied that wooden word, and here it is. And I just love this so much. It's got the geometrics, it's got the distressing, it's got the word, and faith. Faith is so important. Let me know what you guys think of the project and about faith. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and share so we can try to grow the community. Thank you to all of my subscribers. I love you guys. See you next time.